All right, welcome to the Tribe Digital Marketing Series. Today, I'm joined by Eric Smith, our Director of Business Intelligence / Data Science. Eric, what's happening?
Hey, Josh, how's it going?
Doing well, man. So typically, want to just start off with, what do you love about marketing?
I hated marketing for a long time, but now I really like it that it's becoming more reality based. If you're making a difference, if you're moving the needle. If you're not moving the needle, there's a lot more signals that we can look at to help you move the needle. So that's what I really like about it. It's in a really exciting, transformative period. And especially, as things shift towards digital, it's getting even more interesting because there's better data.
Well, I think transformative is an interesting word. I think there's transformation happening on a lot of fronts right now. One of the things that we're all very aware of is just the fact that most organizations now are having their events canceled, which is technically a big lead generator or a marketing tool in the toolbox. And even in industries like medical, right, where you rely on face-to-face contact with healthcare providers and physicians to sell, so to speak, that's not happening. So as you're thinking about how folks can transform the way they do digital in a challenging time, any things that you could think of that people should really be focusing in on?
I see it as more and faster. I don't see like huge qualitative shifts because I'm not smart about that sort of, what's the right channels and that sort of thing.
Right.
But I see it as, as things move more towards digital, that's more touch points for gathering data. It's also more risk from the privacy and security standpoint. So it's interesting as this dovetailing with the U.S. big push into privacy coming out of California. And like every opportunity, it's a risk and an opportunity. But
Right.
I love the idea of more data coming in, especially on the B2B side where data are, not amazing for marketing right now. And they're getting better with intent signals. And
Right.
we're just going to have more and it's going to start coming in faster.
What are some of those things? Where are you seeing data coming from these days when you say more, right? Like, what are some examples?
Well, I would say the most exciting stuff is coming out of the intent data providers like Sixth Sense. Madison Logic does some really interesting stuff. Um, I think that in the long run, as those signals become more sophisticated, and as we get more of them, I think that they're going to basically displace a lot of traditional signals that we use for targeting and marketing, like firmographics and technographics,
Right.
because they're just more interesting to
Right.
look at. So.
Yeah. So instead of just static lists of names and companies, we're looking at more dynamic signals where people are actually showing that they're interested in something or showing that they have an inclination towards a product or a service.
Totally, and it's coming pre-Marketo, right? Like
Yeah.
you're able to get to those signals when you really need them.
Yeah. How does that change how you think as a marketer?
Uh, I think if we relate it to some of the traditional exercises that you would perform when you're looking at your business landscape and your audience,
Mm-hmm.
it completely changes the way we're going to think about ideal customer profiling and total addressable market. It's going to be more about what's going on right now
Mm-hmm.
uh, than about attributes. And hmm,
I mean,
yeah,
I
that's
think marketing has been largely list based for a long time, right?
mhm.
And oftentimes those lists are somewhat subjective and meaningless. We're just making some blanket assumptions. What I think I'm hearing you say now is we can turn those assumptions into reality based on what people are actually doing versus, the persona exercise that we did that was very, what's the right word? Qualitative,
Mhm.
right? And as opposed to letting the data do the talking, and it's going to be more fluid. It can't be a set it and forget it exercise. What happens today? I mean, you look at what we're dealing with right now. 3 weeks ago, those intent signals might be 180-degree difference
Yeah.
from what they are now, based on the reality of people's world.
Yeah, it's really the timeliness I think that's changing where uh, instead of a roadmap, you're getting a set of suggestions
Right.
and a set of, fault lines to look at. Like if you're thinking about an earthquake, it's like, okay, we should watch here, but you're watching four signals. So it's going to integrate the sort of the data intelligence with the actual people intelligence of sales and marketing people being able to look for when events happen. And I think those two combined are going to be really powerful, especially as we start getting personas that actually mean something and aren't just
Right.
totally fluffy.
Well, then at the end of the day, that should help solve for what marketers talk about and what the consumer craves, which is an actual personalized experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got these CDP providers who are able to, link it to, a single person
Right.
and get all like the 360 view of their customers all under one roof. It's huge. And I mean, it's huge for B2C, but it's about to become huge for B2B as the data get more interesting.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's interesting stuff. Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate your insights. This is good. It's a good departure and interesting stuff that we can thread together here.
Right on. Well, thanks, Josh.
Yeah, man. Thanks.